Today I want to talk about all the folks out there who don't want to quit their job and want to make an extra $2,000 a month. This is the video for you. You can still stand up one of these short-term rentals in about 2 weeks and you can make an extra $2,000 a month. And it's a very simple formula. And so that's why I'm so excited about short-term rentals. And this is what I do, is because I still work full-time. Like I'm a guy who works a demanding full-time job. So you hear all these gurus out here that are telling folks all the time that, you need to quit your job, quit trading your time for money and all that stuff like that. I get it. Now, what they're saying, there's truth to it. But everybody's not totally built to work for themselves, right? Now, this is not going to be sexy or popular the way I'm saying it right now, because there are some gurus out here that will just say, nah, you should never work for somebody else. You should always run your own business because you don't have any control. And they're right. That is true. But everybody's not in that position. So this video is for you. The folks that maybe want to be in that position or maybe aren't ready to be in that position, because everybody is not ready to be in that position, right? And so that's why I'm so excited about short-term rentals. And this is what I do, is because I still work full-time. Like I'm a guy who works a demanding full-time job where I have to work north of 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I'm still able to run this business seamlessly, right? Like, so anybody that has a part-time job, maybe you work 6 hours a day, maybe you work 10 hours a day, you can still stand up one of these short-term rentals in about 2 weeks and you can make an extra $2,000 a month. And it's a very simple formula. And I'm gonna go over that formula with you guys right now. So the first thing you got to do is you have to do your research, right? You have to search the 3 H's, which is highways, hospitals, and hotels. If you search in those areas like that, you will find a property that you can make money in. Then you have to have tools like AirDNA, and then other tools out there like Raboo that actually gives you information on how much you can actually make. The good thing I like about these tools is these tools aren't taking guesstimates. These are basically pulling in revenue numbers from other short-term rental hosts and saying what they're making. So you don't have to guess about what you make. Now, what I will tell you is results may vary. And the reason why results may vary is because one thing that the system doesn't break down is what type of amenities that those people may have, right? So you may have a person that has a hot tub, right, which is going to drive their revenues up. Your property may not have a hot tub, right? So you always want to take the median income for what you see. You don't want to take the highest end, and then you kind of go from there. So if you have those tools, it's going to show you what people are actively making. These are not estimates. This is what people are making. And so these tools are pretty reliable to go by to kind of start your business. And then the other thing is Airbnb itself gives you that. Once you put the address in Airbnb, Airbnb will say other hosts with similar properties are making X. That's right. You don't have to get out here and think that you have to be this guru with this stuff. You could just put addresses in Airbnb and they will tell you from their system how much people are making. Now, the great thing about what you see in Airbnb is that's just a small part of the equation. Well, actually the largest part, but that's not taking into account for what people are making through VRBO, Expedia, and Booking.com, right? So whatever money that you see in Airbnb, that is just data just for Airbnb. But again, if you want to look at something that's more inclusive, you can look at Raboo, and you can also look at AirDNA. It's going to give you more of a comprehensive look at the entire market. But like I said, Airbnb itself can give you a good start. The next thing you have to do is you're going to have to find a place. So once you find a place in the area, you've done your research, you want to be next to the hospitals, the hotels, and the highways, those 3 things, then you find a place. You negotiate the lease with the landlord. You need to have a really good script for the landlords. And don't try to convince a landlord that it makes sense. When you talk to the right landlord, they will understand that it makes sense. Over my time of doing this, when you talk to somebody who gets it, and you don't have to sell them on it. If you're in a situation where you're trying to sell a landlord, you're not talking to the right person. Just go ahead and move on. So after you find the property, the next thing you have to do is you have to furnish it. And you could furnish it at all of these low cost places. One of the places that I love to go to get my pictures and things like that is Ross. Ross is a fantastic place to go to find low cost pictures and things like that are very trendy and colorful. Don't get these pictures off of Amazon that everybody's having. Get these pictures from Ross because they're going to be unique and they're going to be pictures that everybody doesn't have. And one thing about Ross, they always have like old stock and stuff like that. So you could get their stuff. They will be really nice and trendy. And they also have trinkets and stuff, like little gold little statues and stuff that you could put up and make your place look really, really cute. Now, I don't want to knock Amazon. They do have a place, and that place is for things like beds. But I like looking at Wayfair also because Wayfair, you can get probably a little bit better. You could get a little bit better bed, and those beds actually help you. They're much cheaper than the beds that you could get from the store, like the rooms to go and places like that. You don't want to get beds from those places. Those beds cost way too much, and they will just eat up in your budget. So order your bed from like Wayfair, Amazon, places like that, and then go from there. For dressers and stuff like that, I'll say the same thing. You can actually get dressers from Amazon. You could get dressers from Walmart as well. Everything doesn't have to match perfectly. Like there's a way to put things together. I'll show you guys some pictures at the end of this video of how I put together some of my places so you can kind of see. Everything, you don't have to have the matching dresser and the matching cabinets and all that stuff. No, that's not unique anyways. That's what you would see in a house. Your job is to be unique with your style. And when you buy different pieces from different places and bring it together, it looks pretty good. You can also look at places like Furniture Marketplace or Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is probably one of my favorite places to find my dining tables. You can get dining tables pretty cheap. People, when they get tired of them, even when they're in good shape, you can get them for less than 500 bucks, probably even less than that. I got one not too long ago for about 200 bucks, really nice. So don't spend a ton of money on furniture. If you spend more than $5,000 to furnish a place, you're really spending a lot of money. And that may sound cheap, but I'm talking about a 2-bedroom place. You should definitely be able to furnish it top to bottom for less than $5,000. And if you want to know how to do that, reach out to me and click on my link in the bio, and it will give you some information on that. But you should not have to spend more than $5,000 to furnish any unit. Then after that, you need to get some automations, man. This is where a lot of hosts fail because they're trying to keep all of the money. And I get it. It gets really tempting to want to keep all of the money, but it's better to get some automations. And the two automations that I recommend are OwnerRez and Price Labs. OwnerRez because it's going to automate all of your messaging, and that is one of the most important things to keeping a really good score and getting good reviews on Airbnb, is making sure folks don't have to ask you little stupid questions like, you know, what is my code? How do I get in? You know, it basically gives them all the information. And so you don't have to worry about, you know, missing a message or anything like that, making somebody upset. And then Price Labs is going to ensure that you're pricing all of your nights correctly without having to constantly go in there. So what Price Lab does is it basically hooks up to the market, and it's basically going to be looking around the market to see if anything interesting is happening. And so what it does is it looks at other people's Airbnbs and short-term rentals. And if they see spikes, they're going to look at it and say, hey, what's going on? Hey, maybe you need to raise your rates because your rates are too cheap. People are raising their rates. Something must be going on. And then it raises your rates. And you don't have to worry about that. If you don't have automations like that, then you're just going to be either priced too low or you're going to be priced too high all the time. So Price Lab is going to take that away. And then a cleaner. I hear a lot of people who get into this business, they want to clean themselves because they don't want to pay out their cleaning fee. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Don't clean these units, man. Don't clean them. Man, there's people out there, this is what they're built to do. Find those people and let those people clean your units. Like, it's an equal opportunity economy, man. Use capitalism. Let's be smart about this. Find somebody who is really good at cleaning and let them clean and pay them. right? And don't skimp on it. Get a good cleaner, pay them a decent amount of money, and they will show up for you, right? They will be your eyes and ears to the point where they can really make this business really automated for you. And the last piece is you got to have a decent handyman. You got to have somebody who's willing to come in and, fix some stuff for you. But that's probably the least of your worries if you get the right apartment in the right place, right? The key is to really find a place where the apartment complex takes care of all that stuff. So I hope this was good for you guys to let you know what you could do quickly to get an Airbnb and short-term rental. The last bonus piece I wanted to talk about a little bit on this with you guys is how this can impact your W-2 job. So again, I'm not a tax professional, so I'm not giving tax advice, but I do want to say this piece at the end. So the great thing about a short-term rental is it enables you to start writing things off on your W-2. So look up something called the short-term rental loophole. It's huge. You could put yourself in a situation where you don't pay any taxes from your W-2 job because you have that short-term rental. So now you're in a situation where not only this is bringing you more money, about $2,000 if you get the right unit, but then also you're putting tax money back in your pocket from your W-2 job. That's a bonus one. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys like comment like this, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any thing that I miss on here that you think is essential to quickly get your Airbnb stood up, of course, this wasn't comprehensive. If you want something comprehensive, click the link back down below and get my bundle for short-term rentals to get yourself going. But get out there, run the play. Peace.